Hey loves, it's your girl Lady Pelvic and it is time. Y'all already know. Quick history of Kingdom Hearts and me before we jump into this doozy of a review of Kingdom Hearts 3, which came out January 29th, 2018. I still can't believe I beat this game in under 30 hours. Like, I tore this game up, and if you see bags under my eyes, this is why. Like many others, I started with Kingdom Hearts 1 back in 2002 on the PlayStation 2, played Chain of Memories, played it twice, I failed twice, I got stuck at the 4th Riku, I fucking hate that game. Played Kingdom Hearts 2, recently replayed Kingdom Hearts 2, then I waited for the whole collections to come out, and so that's when I beat Dream Drop Distance, Birth by Sleep, and the Fragmentary Passage. I watched Days all while keeping up with the mobile app Unchained. And of course, watched Backstory, so the only game I literally haven't touched is Recoded, and I didn't beat Chain of Memories. The point of me addressing this is so you know I'm relatively well informed about the story, I kinda know what's going on. I mean, it's Kingdom Hearts, you can only know so much. Kingdom Hearts 3 opens up with all the past events of the Kingdom Hearts games. I nearly cried, the opening was so beautiful, and just reliving all the touching and painful moments of the series. Ugh, almost tears, almost. So anyways, first things first, because Sora nearly fell to darkness in Dream Drop, he's pretty weak again, pretty much justifying why he lost all of his abilities, and needs to learn the power of waking. So he goes to Disney Worlds to get stronger, seek help, maintain world order, which is pretty much banishing darkness. Meanwhile, Riku and Mickey are frequenting the realm of darkness, in search of Aqua, and all the while, Organization 13 is making sure they have all their ducks in a row, with their 13 darknesses, and assuming Sora and his gang will have the 7 lights, which are meant to clash later and recreate a Keyblade war. Cool, so that's all well and good, but one question that was constantly asked is, hey, can I play Kingdom Hearts 3 without playing all the side games? And I say side games because they're not really side games, they're actually incredibly important to the story. And so if you didn't play most of the side games, would you still understand the story? No. Nah. Sorry. Mickey does do a quick recap of things, but it goes by so fast, and if you're hearing this information for the first time, your head will spin. What I will say though is the glossary that's provided is great. Has the story thus far in each world, important terminology, character bios, enemy info, it really goes into detail. That being said, I don't think you want to start Kingdom Hearts 3 and spend an hour reading. Now, Kingdom Hearts has 9 quote-unquote Disney worlds, if you include Twilight Town and the 100-Acre Woods. Each world has its own arc, which sometimes is cleverly used to tie in the main plot. An example of this is Toy Box, one of the first worlds which is used to show that toys, inanimate objects, have hearts, meaning a replica, aka dolls, artificial bodies, could hold hearts. In Monstropolis, the Monsters Inc. world, where they used to scare children for power, you would find the Unversed, which are manifestations of negative emotions, which fit perfectly considering fear aligns itself with the negative feeling. Now there were some worlds that was a straight up retelling rather than an all new plot, or even one step further is you didn't know the Disney movie and you would actually be confused on what's going on. I'm looking at you, Arendelle. I get it, everyone's seen Frozen, but still. In short, some of the worlds nailed it, some worlds overwhelmed their stay, and some worlds were rushed in terms of storytelling. Oh, and you want to talk about rushed? The final bits of the game, after completing the main worlds, when you know shit's about to go down, it felt so underwhelming. I won't go spoiling anything, but the final fights and the characters' final words explaining themselves seem so lackluster. Overall, I liked the story of 3. I mean, it was a lot to handle, but I enjoyed it. Didn't feel as definitive as 1 and 2, though. I wish I had more of an explanation for you. And yes, I understand Kingdom Hearts 3 was an end to a saga, not the series. That being said, the secret ending has left me very excited for the future of the series. Now, Kingdom Hearts 3's gameplay is where I found the most enjoyment. Press X and occasionally triangle, the game. But that's almost every hack and slash, let's be honest. You go around the worlds defeating Heartless and other past enemies by swinging around your Keyblade in a flashy manner. As a bonus, you could switch Keyblades mid-combo, and they added the glorious feature of blocking in mid-air. Of course, we got our spells, and I advise you set them on the quick menu for fluid combat, and that's not all. All the previous mechanics of old games are back, like flow motion, zip around levels quickly, and spin around poles taking on several enemies. Or using the focus gauge to access shock block, target multiple enemies and do decent damage. Or you might siphon enemies' health. It all depends on your Keyblade. There's air stepping, which is my new favorite thing in the entire world. While in focus mode, if a golden square appears, you could jump to that area. A golden square also includes enemies, where you charge in for a quick attack. Links, or summons, make a return, pays tribute to Dream Eaters, past summons, and teammates. One of my favorite things, depending on the combos you do with striking enemies and magic attacks, you unlock new forms, Keyblade transformation, or greater magic. New forms and Keyblade transformation depends on what Keyblade you have. Some turn into a spear, others a yo-yo. It was fun to see the animations play out the first 100 times. While I appreciate the razzle-dazzle, after a while it kinda slows down the battle. Greater magic is after using certain spells you can cast the highest form of magic, MP free. But we're not done there. We have team attacks, which is pretty self-explanatory. Do a notable amount of damage with a teammate. And lastly, a feature that has grown rather notorious are attraction commands. Hit an enemy with a green circle around it and boom, you got an attraction to bust out. Attractions are anything from a train to a boat to a blaster. This is the same issue of Keyblade transformations. It's a long, glittery cutscenes that interrupts the heat of battle. Cool the first few times, but then it gets old. And one more thing to note is these special commands. Greater magic, team attacks, Keyblade transformations, attraction commands all have time limits. And attraction commands by far have the longest amount of time for you to access them. Thankfully, you don't have to access them in the order you unlock them. You can scroll through the triangle commands. That said, I didn't know that until after I beat the game, so don't be like me. Use the L2 button. And what's also frustrating is attraction commands are so OP, and you get them so frequently. They're not even special after a while. At the very least, to ease the pain, turn off transformation sequences, which I warn you, for Keyblades, the transformation sequence is actually an attack, so you'll be losing that, but honestly, the trade-off is worth it. It also shortens the attraction sequences too, which helps, but it's still annoying in the long run. Which brings up the difficulty of Kingdom Hearts 3. A lot of people say it's too easy, and as for someone who played on standard, it really was. Freakishly easy. I think you have so many tools at your disposal, and they come so frequently and do buku amount of damage. I remember playing Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 recently on easy just to refresh the story, and I was struggling in some fights. In Kingdom Hearts 3, everything was cake. I only used items at the secret boss, which there's only one, by the way. So in Kingdom Hearts 3, you're going to be doing a lot of exploring. And if I'm being honest, this is the most fun I've had traversing the Disney worlds. Sometimes you'll be sliding around on your shield, other times you're swinging cliff to cliff by hair. My favorite bits are running up and battling enemies on walls. I felt incredibly badass, even if the camera proved to be a bit of a hindrance. You also want to keep your eyes peeled for lucky emblems, or more commonly known as hidden Mickeys, as these are the key to unlocking the secret ending. Areas were littered with chests containing goodies or mobile games for the new Gummy phone, which were fun to mess around in. There are mini games hidden throughout the worlds, like the Flantastic 7. Yes, 7 flan-like Heartless who have exclusive games to play and offer you special abilities and foods unique to them. Which brings us to cooking, a cute minigame where Sora and Little Chef prepare dishes to give Sora and his friends unique buffs in battle. The thing is, I never ate my food the entire playthrough. You just kinda forget about it. Synthesizing and leveling up your Keyblades are still a thing, especially if you want the ultimate weapon. I didn't care enough. Give me Save the King plus Save the Queen plus, which are Donald and Goofy's best weapons, and I'm good. Post-game, you're able to find battle gates, where you fight a horde of enemies, and then are rewarded with secret reports and some equipment. Read these, but fair warning, they'll only leave you with more questions. And the Gummy Ship is back, and instead of being on a set path, it's more of an open-world experience. Once I figured out how to drive this thing, it was smooth sailing. Except, I never figured out how to drive very well, which made this segment extra painful. Anywho, if you're near an enemy, the Gummy Ship battles will start. Winning will earn you experience points toward your Gummy Ship. Also, there's a Gummy Ship editor to make your own ship. You get a teeny ship, and even a Gummy Ship special. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't do much with this. Admittedly, I'm a Gummy Ship hater. It's not even bad, it's just not for me. But the cool thing is, if you do enjoy the Gummy Ship segments, it had a lot more to offer this time around, with exploration, choose when you battle, and treasure. And that more or less covers all the gameplay goodies of Kingdom Hearts 3. It's not as overwhelming as it sounds. It's no Xenoblade Chronicles 2, trust me. That game is like homework, but let's talk about graphics and level design. I mean, what's not to say? The graphics are simply incredible, and possible thanks to the Unreal Engine 4. I mean, it's wild that you can see the pores on these characters' hands, each stitch in their clothing. And if I'm being honest, sometimes I had a hard time telling what was a CGI cutscene and a regular cutscene. I actually had to look at Sora's hair. Depending on how it was textured indicated which was which. I thought everyone looked fantastic, a little plastic sometimes in the face, but overall very clean. I mean, look how far we've come based on the pirate level. From Kingdom Hearts 2, where Sora and his crew are bright and don't fit into the world at all, versus now, I was so impressed. The CGI cutscenes, it honestly goes without saying, they're obviously freaking gorgeous. This is the best Kingdom Hearts has ever looked. Flawless, magnificent, Square knows how to make a pretty game. And it's a good thing they're pretty too, because Kingdom Hearts 3 has 11.5 hours of cutscenes. Which is wild to me because I beat this game in about 28 hours. It's crazy, almost half my playtime was cutscenes. Pressing forward, I think there was a good variety of levels where some were linear and some felt more open. Like open with stuff to do and explore, like the Caribbean with the ship battles and exploring the various islands, while others like Big Hero 6 felt too open and wasn't exactly excited to roam around in. If you weren't air stepping in the sky, it was pretty boring. All this space and nothing to fill it with. Whereas Frozen's land, I felt like I was traveling the same area forever. I'm cool with the elevation like how Tangled did, but with Frozen, I was in the same place over and over and over again. It was just frustrating to climb up the mountain. Some familiar places got a glow up like Twilight Town, so homey and welcoming with the warm colors and townsfolk. It just sucks that Twilight Town severely shrunk. It had great potential to be a hub world, but here we are. The music. The masterful Yoko Shimomura once again blessed us with a magical soundtrack, remixing songs from previous games and providing us with new ones. Each world having its own theme and battle theme. One of my favorite things about Kingdom Hearts is the world battle themes. And yes, there are multiple boss themes, certain enemies have their own themes like Nobody's, and of course we have Utada Hikaru providing us with our opening and ending theme song of Kingdom Hearts. Don't Think Twice is the ending, and the opening is Utada and dubstep DJ Skrillex with Face My Fears. Don't Think Twice just makes me cry. And Face My Fears initially got some dislike because Skrillex dubstep, if I'm being honest, I hate dubstep, but I actually like this song. Had to listen to it a few times, but it grew on me. Wasn't a huge fan at first. And seeing the visuals with the song just made it so impactful. So I think to wrap up Kingdom Hearts music, hearing it is a journey, an audio retelling of Sora and Friends' quest. Plenty of old songs remixed to perfection. If you're a big music person, there's so much hidden bits. The entire soundtrack is magnifique, and I don't have a favorite, but as not to spoil Scala ad Caelum, I'll let you enjoy the remixed unversed boss theme originally in Birth by Sleep called Unforgettable. Enjoy! Listen, I love Kingdom Hearts, despite how flawed it is, and that's why I give it an 8.5 out of 10. Is it a good game? Yes. Do I think people didn't hype responsibly because their expectations were just fucking wild? Yeah. Do I think the basic expectations of Kingdom Hearts 3 were met? Like, I don't know, making Kairi not suck? No. Still a good game. I do think this game missed a lot of opportunity, like a lot of opportunity with characters. But there's struggle with the pacing, and a lot of people are saying, oh, Kingdom Hearts pacing has always been terrible. Yeah, that doesn't give it a pass to keep being terrible. It comes with the territory, yes, but it doesn't mean it has to. Like, they could make it, better. Like any entry in the game, you're supposed to make it better. I don't think they did a phenomenal job recapping past events. I mean, you got the core of it. The dialogue was rough. Voice acting was fine, though. Also, did it feel like load times took forever? The gameplay was fun, a bit overwhelming. I like choices, but the problem is there's so many choices you forget you have choices. The attraction commands were broken, easy to obtain. Despite that, it was still fun, flashy, kept things interesting. Ship battles, climbing up walls. I like it. Graphics and music, outstanding. The bottom line here to me is Kingdom Hearts 3 was absolutely enjoyable. Very fun, loved it. But still underwhelming. I am so happy that the Xehanort Saga is over, and I am looking forward to what crazy, wild, wacky, and magical adventures Sora finds himself in. People can hate on Kingdom Hearts all they want, it's not going anywhere, it's a cash cow, and the love for the series is astronomical. With that said, I want to know, what is your favorite Kingdom Hearts game? Personally, I'm still a stan for Birth by Sleep. Kingdom Hearts 3 is second place. I really did enjoy the gameplay, as broken as it was. And of course, I want to know your thoughts on Kingdom Hearts. Do you agree with me? Do you think I'm being too lenient with it, or do you think I'm being too harsh? I always look forward to reading your comments. Thank you so much for watching. Top box is more reviews like this, and the bottom box is my Let's Play channel. Also, I'm on Patreon, so please consider supporting my channel if you like what I got going on. And of course, follow me on all my socials. Toodles!